To Insurance Matchmaking, your path to health, life, and Medicare coverage with Matt Libby Insurance. And now, sharing his knowledge, here's your host, Matt Libby.
All right, good morning. Welcome back to Insurance Matchmaking. Been a kind of a crazy week. This week, I went to the VFW National Convention. I've been in the VFW since I think it was 2007, 2008. I'd gone and was involved, in my district and everything when I lived in East Tennessee, and I'm active with the Post here. I'd been to the state convention a few times, but never gone to the national. Sometimes they're kind of far away, and you have to fly if you're going to go kind of thing. And there was one that was closer. I don't remember now where it was, but it wasn't that far away, but it still just didn't. And it might have been Louisville. I think it was in Louisville like 10 years ago or something too. But it was in Louisville. I'm like, that's only 4 hour drive from here. We could do that. And it worked out great. We took off on Saturday. There was few things scheduled on Saturday. Mainly it was just that was registration, and they had vendor booths and things like that set up. But I wanted to at least show up there and kind of scout, figure out, okay, how do we get there? Where are we going to park? All that kind of stuff. And the other thing was, figured out that I saw somebody had posted on Facebook about a week before we were going to go that the Buc-ee's at Smith Grove, Kentucky was now open. I said, well, that works. I'll get gas sometimes this week. And I'm saying this before my trip. And I'll stop at Buc-ee's because I can get cheap gas there. And it worked out great. Didn't have to buy gas in Louisville where it was really high. It was like $3.54 or something like that. And I got it at $2.85 at Buc-ee's. Of course, I made up for that we just, hit there at lunchtime on Saturday. So I got the 3-meat sandwich and some kettle chips and a bag of jerky. So it wasn't an inexpensive lunch, but Buc-ee's is really nice when you're traveling. You know you're going to have a clean restroom, and gas is always a great price, but food's expensive everywhere. So, but they make up for it. They may save you a lot on gas, but they'll get it back once you go inside. So I posted something to somebody on Facebook I got some of my money back on Sunday. All I did was get gas and use the restrooms. So that was a good deal. And so I'm still driving on that gas that I got back on Tuesday as we're coming back. And speaking of Tuesday, the big storm, all the rain dropped here, and 5 hours and a couple hours, or very little time, and flooded everything. We were fortunate. We're behind that. The storm, when we were between Elizabethtown and Bowling Green, it hit there, and we actually ended up pulling into a truck stop and sat there for about 30 minutes till it kind of let up, and then pretty much from then on, we had to use a wiper some, but no bad storm rain, pouring rain, and we were hearing the reports on the radio with a severe thunderstorm warnings and everything like that were hitting, but fortunately we didn't have to drive in them, and I feel bad. Those that got their cars flooded and such here in town, hope everybody turned out all right, but I'm glad we weren't in that. But that was kind of a little trip there, and a lot of people may not know where Smith Grove, Kentucky is. What we love about it is when we're going to run up 65 normally to the Indianapolis area is where we're going. The quickest way is go ahead and go right up through Gainsboro and go right straight up. But if you want to, it's a beautiful drive, but if you want about an hour and a half with no cell service, that may not be the route you want to take. And I probably wouldn't want to take it if it was rainy day or could be foggy or whatever. But a nice sunny day, yeah, it's a nice drive. We took that the first time we made that trip. We went that way. I got chewed out because there were phone calls that my wife needed to be able to make at the time, and when we had no cell service, she had to wait to call her sister back about some things. So, but what we do is we just go down to Lebanon and take that first exit that goes by the fairgrounds in Lebanon, and follow that till you intersect 231 in town, and then head north on that. You just stay on 231, and you can stay on 231 all the way to 65, but it goes kind of out of your way over towards Bowling Green there. Whereas if in Scottsville, Kentucky, if you continue straight on highway, I think it's 100, you hit the Interstate 65 there at Smith's Grove, and that's where the Buc-ee's is. So it was great, coming back. We pulled off at Buc-ee's to get the gas, and didn't even have to get back on the interstate then. That was the road we needed to take. So it's not a bad trip. It takes maybe about an hour and a half from here to to Buc-ee's. So, if you can check the prices ahead of time, it might be the place to stop and get gas. Now, I will tell you, Saturday it was crazy. The place had only been open for about a month. So if you've been to the Buc-ee's in Crossville, you know how busy it was when it first opened up. It stays fairly busy, but when I came to on Tuesday, it almost looked like a ghost town compared to what it looked like Saturday. There were a lot of empty parking spots, easy to pull up to the pump, right in front of the door. In fact, after I got done pumping gas, I pulled up to wait for my wife to come out. I pulled into a parking spot right at the door. So during the week, it's not so bad. Weekends, kind of busy. But that was the drive. But we scouted out the convention center, and we had decided we weren't going to spend the big money to stay in one of the hotels where everybody else is staying right there at the convention center. So we found a motel in Comfort Inn Suites. I wanted to say quality, but Comfort Inn Suites in Clarksville, Indiana, which is just across the river, and it's right. I mean, the convention center is only like about a block from the Ohio River there, that is the border between Kentucky and Indiana right there. And we had our blue-green points, so it was great. We were able to use those points and didn't have to shell out cash for the motel. We got a suite. We had a kitchen. We actually cooked dinner, or she cooked dinner, the Sunday and Monday night, so we didn't have to spend money eating out. Of course, got breakfast there in the morning, and she just took her sewing machine and watched the Olympics, and I went to the convention and parked in the garage right across the street from the convention center. So it was very convenient. But it was a neat experience. Like I said, I hadn't been to the VFW National Convention before, and it was a neat event. You have everybody from all over, not just the 50 states. We actually have VFW posts overseas. In fact, they just recently opened a new post, and it's on Guantanamo Bay in Cuba, in the naval base that we still have there in Cuba. VFW is everywhere. Now, they probably don't have bingo night at that one, so don't go for that. But just a lot of things, a lot of events. Highlighting some award winners. The last day I was there, we left on Tuesday. I think it goes through Thursday, but we needed to be back in town for other things, one of them being the fair. So we went for the first few days, and one part was really frustrating. We had to vote on some amendments and things like that, and there was some debate on those for amending the bylaws. So that got a little heated, and it went a little longer than expected. But it was neat to be part of that. I was one of our post delegates, so I actually had a voice in voting on some of the things. Not that my one voice made a lot of difference, but it was good to be able to participate in that. And so we had a lot of vendors. They had the VFW store where you could buy shirts and hats, all the VFW swag, and then they had a race car there that VFW sponsors in the ARCA series, and the driver was there taking pictures with people. USAA looked like they had set up a bank there. Humana has a booth there, a big sponsor of the VFW, and I'm trying to think some of the other big name vendors. Leaf Guard, they had a booth, of course, and in another hallway was the health fair. And that was one of the things I'm kind of trying to get to, is there was a lot of the tables were like VA, but there was, reps there that market the motorized scooters for those that have mobility issues. There was hearing aid people. There was mental health counseling. One of the booths that I didn't notice it, I think, when I walked, because usually when I was walking through that hallway was either hurrying to get to a meeting or hurrying to the restroom so I could get back to the meeting, because from where the main meeting hall, ballroom where we met, it was about a 50-yard long hallway to get to the men's room. So when you left for a water break, it took a little longer than just, popping out the door and pop back in. It was, you were gone for probably 15 minutes just because of the walk. But there was a booth there and I happened to walk by. I was talking about that meeting that went long. Well, the vendors and everything shut down at 4, and that meeting we had didn't get done till about 5. So all the vendors were gone. So I just was kind of looking at their table, and they talked about having an app for those that are hearing impaired or hard of hearing, not necessarily maybe you have a hearing aid. So a lot of people I know that when they have hearing aids, they take them out to be on the phone because it buzzes or it gets too loud or whatever. So they defeat the purpose. Well, anyway, this app is basically closed caption for your phone call, any phone call, because I know they have that what they call the TTY for those hearing impaired, that they get basically the text of the call when they're calling in, or they can actually type in and have that call answer. So it's kind of like having a text conversation with someone. This app, and I need to look into it a little further, and according to their brochure, that's free. You can get the app and use that app for free. They do have like a home phone that you can have, and those, I believe what it is those they sell. So, their lead-in is to offer the free app on a smartphone. But you can call any phone number and get it versus you only have calling somewhere that has that TTY service. That's the way I'm understanding it, and I haven't researched it yet, and was not able to go back and talk to the person at that booth because on Tuesday morning at noon, all the vendor stuff closed up, and so when I got out of the morning meeting on Tuesday, they were all closed. All those things were closing up, and that's when I decided, I'll just go ahead and head back. There was a workshop that I maybe could have gone to that afternoon, but it was like, I think I can look up that information online versus spending that time just sitting here when I can be that much closer to home. So we went ahead and left then and stopped and got lunch at Culver's in Elizabethtown. I think it was Elizabethtown, and then went to Buc-ee's to get the gas. So I still spent a lot for lunch. Like I said, food's expensive everywhere. But that was kind of my experience with the VFW convention. I'll think of things on other shows and go, oh yeah, we did this at the convention, did that. But there was a lot of different vendors there. I actually bought a new jacket for this winter from the National Home. We have that in Eaton Rapids, Michigan. It started out as basically like an orphanage for children who had a veteran had died in service or something like that. Now it's not the Veterans Home for Children anymore. It's the Veterans Home, and they actually will house entire families. So it's a bunch of farmland in Michigan that was donated, and several houses for people to live in. So it's a community in Michigan that all these families that may be struggling after getting out, or maybe could be due to injuries or whatever, but need rehab time. But it's a great program. So check out the VFW National Home. You can go to vfw.org and check that out there. So anyway, we're maybe even ran a little over, coming up on the break here, and we'll get back to it after the break.
This is Emily Gibson, your local Twin Lakes security consultant. If you're thinking about a new security system, this is the perfect time to request an estimate. Twin Lakes Summer Giveaway is going on now, and we're giving away a big prize package that includes a breakaway wireless speaker, a large cooler, and more Twin Lakes swag to one lucky winner. It's easy to be entered. Simply call me at 931-528-2005 before August 31st for a free, no obligation, no purchase necessary quote, or visit us online at www.twinlakes.net.
Twin Lakes Security, TN-CERT C-0026.
Looking to spruce up your home without breaking the bank? Visit Habitat Restore for incredible deals on furniture, appliances, home decor, and more. Plus, when you shop at Habitat Restore, you're not just getting great deals, you're also supporting your local community. Are you looking to make a meaningful impact? Consider donating to Habitat Restore. Your generosity can make a world of difference. Habitat Restore, open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and located at 560 South Jefferson Avenue in Cookeville.
And now, back to Insurance Matchmaking with Matt Libby Insurance.
All right, welcome back to Insurance Matchmaking. Before the break, I was talking about my experience last week of attending the VFW National Convention. And I said there was a lot of insurance stuff there. I just kind of didn't really get involved with them. I did talk to the folks at the Humana table and the CenterWell folks. If you have Humana, you probably know what CenterWell is, but it's another company that's actually owned by Humana. That's their mail order pharmacy, the over-the-counter items that people get from their Medicare Advantage plans, those come from CenterWell. But CenterWell also runs clinics, and they only take Medicare patients. So you have to have Medicare or a Medicare, but they will take other Medicare Advantage plans. So it's not just, it's not just for people who have Humana. Closest one to us here is in Lebanon, and there's 2 or 3 in the Nashville area. So don't have that in Cookeville. Maybe in a couple years they'll open one here. Who knows? But they're very convenient. Other than the one in Lebanon, the local ones, they also have classrooms, so they'll do classes with seniors. And they actually, for agents like us, they open it up. I could do like my Medicare 101 workshops like I do at the library, but the one in Lebanon doesn't have a classroom, and that would be the only one that I would think about doing that at. So that doesn't work for me, but it is a perk for other agents who can use that. And speaking of Medicare 101, we got a bunch coming up. We're in August now, so not this coming Monday, but the next Monday, 12th, I think it is. Anyway, that one will be here at the Cookeville Library, and then that Thursday, I think it's the 15th, if I'm getting my dates right. I don't have my calendar in front of me right now. We will be at the Cumberland Business Incubator. Both of those days I've mentioned on here before, I will do a 2 o'clock at my office, because some people can't make those evening ones for whatever reason, but sometimes the daytime one works. I actually got somebody that I know of that scheduled for the 2 o'clock on, I think it's the Monday session, but at my office she's doesn't live right in Cookeville, but is going to be in Cookeville because she's staying be spending time with her granddaughter, and the granddaughter will be in school, so the 2 o'clock time will be perfect, and then she can get out in time to meet her after school. So that works out great. We've done a couple of workshops like that at the office. That's one of the things I love about the office we have now in South Jefferson is we have the classroom set up, classroom area. We've got the big screen TV. We do have our avoiding the nursing home and avoiding those hidden costs that Medicare doesn't cover. We're going to have one of those seminars with Danielle Rolfs. That's going to come up again in September. It's like the Friday after the Labor Day weekend, I believe is the date on that, and we'll put out more on that also. But she's not going to be in town this time. Last time she came in, did it at our office. This time she's going to do it. I think not Google Meet. She's using Microsoft Teams, I believe, is the way she's going to do it as a webinar. And so we'll have that on the webinar or TV. We're doing that kind of as a lunch and learn that day. So if you've registered for that, we'll have a light lunch provided, and you can watch on the big screen. And you might, there may be questions come up afterwards that will be right there to try to answer after we sign off. But if you're not able to attend it at the office, we will be able to give you a link to view it on your computer, your device, from wherever you are. So we're limited to only like about 12 people being able to come to the office to do it, but more than welcome to tune in online. Maybe you're going to be at work and you just need to, you don't have time to get away from your desk, but you can take, a half an hour or so to listen in. So be looking for stuff on that. I don't know that we have it on the website yet. That's something I probably need to look at, make sure that's on there. And then we'll put it out on Facebook also. So be looking for those things. So the other thing is I'm doing something very strange today. People, especially my staff, are probably not used to seeing is I'm wearing shorts. The fair's this week. As I record this is Thursday, so tonight's the first night of the fair. And we were working yesterday setting up the booths and everything there under the north grandstands. And it's pretty warm. So I'm like, I am going to wear shorts and a good wicking polo shirt. So I know I'm going to sweat. Yesterday the sweat was running in my eyes, and I didn't have anything to wipe it out, wipe it away from my eye other than my finger, and that wasn't working real well. So it was kind of stinging my eyes a little. So I packed I got a little portable Yeti cooler that I won as a door prize at the BizPalooza from Qualified Staffing. Thank you, Qualified Staffing, for my Yeti. I've used it a couple times now, and packed a bunch of cold drinks already so that I stay hydrated, make sure I've got some electrolytes and some water and some green tea, and just have something cold to drink while I'm sweating under the grandstands. But come by our booth. We're doing a little contest, we're going to do a prize drawing. We got tickets to fill out, and I don't have it narrowed down yet where they're going to be from, but we're going to give away 4 $25 gift cards for a local restaurant, and we're going to leave that to just being local restaurants, so we're going to keep everything in town. But we'll have a gift card for you, and you can go take it, and it'll at least pay for, if not all, pay for most of what your lunch, or depending, how big a family you're taking, or if it's just you might be able to use it twice. But free to enter, no obligation, and we will, get back with you and let you know who won. We'll do that after the fair. So that's why I said I don't know yet where I'm going to get all the gift cards from, but I've got 10 days to get the cards because the fair's from the 1st to the 10th. So we've got a little bit of time, but we'll draw 4 lucky winners after the fair closes after the last day. And I'm saying, and it'll probably be the next day. We'll do it like at the office. We're not going to do it at the fairgrounds, and then notify the winners for that. So, but stop by. We're working on a schedule. We'll have different folks, from the office there at different times. If you have any health or Medicare questions, we'll be able to answer those. But hopefully, we get to meet some people that maybe don't know about us and find out that we got a staff of folks here in town. And that's one of the things I want to say. See a lot of posts on Hip Cookville, and people are looking for moved here and need health insurance, or somebody signed them up on a plan that's not working for them. And got a lot of folks go, get this plan, that's what I have, or go to this plan, that's what I have, or this is what my sister has. That's great, that you want to recommend those plans. But as I mention all the time, we do not charge for our services. We are professional insurance agents. I've been doing this for over 10 years now, and we're going to figure out what fits you, what's going to be the best option for you. I can't say this is the best company or this is the best plan. We're not supposed to rate them like that. But we can say, hey, I think this is going to be your best fit. A lot of times what it is, it's because of, the network. That, plan might have a great price, but if none of your doctors take it, it's not a great plan for you. But that person that posted on Facebook says it's great. It's great. I'm not going to mention any names, and I actually know the guy, but he's a Nashville agent. Posted on the group and said, yeah, I can help. And he can help. He can do pretty much everything I can do, but I'm actually local. You can come to our office, sit down with me or one of my staff, and figure out a plan that works for you. We're going to try to save you money. We're not trying to have you spend a lot of money. We're actually trying to save you money, and but still be well protected. And so just because it may seem like, and you don't save any money, if we find out what plan's going to work for you and then you go online and get it and do it yourself, you're not saving anything. The other thing is, it's not so much here in the Cookville area, but I still have a lot of clients in East Tennessee. And if you're listening to this on one of my YouTube recordings, you could be listening to it from anywhere. Blue Cross, we only have one Blue Cross network here in Cookville. But Nashville, and I can't remember now if Nashville's the E network or the L network. It's the L network in Knoxville. So Knoxville, they have the L network and the S network, and people go, I'm going to take Blue Cross. Everybody takes Blue Cross. And, why would I want I want the least expensive one. Well, that's the L network. And guess what? Everybody doesn't take the L network. So those are some things that you want to make sure, and that's where we come in, and knowing that, hey, yes, this one's a great price, but you may have trouble finding a doctor for it. We got some of the other companies, and I'll just say we have, here in Cookville, in the Upper Cumberland, we have Blue Cross, we have Ambetter, and we have United Healthcare. Not everybody takes United Healthcare. Not everybody takes Ambetter. And not everybody takes Blue Cross, but you're going to find more providers that take Blue Cross than those other two. And not saying there's anything wrong with those other two. I put people on those plans too because, hey, one of those plans may be the perfect plan for that one prescription you have. Whereas Blue Cross may not cover it, or they want you to take a similar drug, but not that one, and that's not the one that works best for you. Or maybe there's some side effects to the other version of it that don't work well for you. And then again, cost. They generally will be less than the Blue Cross plan, but you have to deal with the networks. So that's what we help you figure out: is it the right network for you? Is it the right plan for you? So those are those things that can help you find the plan. Work with a local agent, as I mentioned. We don't charge for our services. We do get paid. So it's, the old adage of, you get what you pay for. Well, you're paying for it, but it's that's kind of included in your premium. They include in your premium that, hey, we're going to have to pay agents commission to sign people up on this. And so there is a little bit in your premium that goes to paying agents. But you don't save that percentage because you signed up yourself. The premium's still going to be the premium. So take advantage of our free advice. And as I've mentioned several times, you've probably, heard this several times. We have kind of the Boy Scout philosophy. When you're going on a campground, you leave it better than you found it. We're going to do the same with you with your health insurance. If what you have, you need to keep what you've got, that's going to be your best bet, then do that. The other thing we run into a lot on that is like someone's on a group plan and it's very expensive to add their family to their group plan. A lot of times we can find a plan on the marketplace that will save them money. So that's some of what we can help you with. I think I mentioned last week is, if you're looking to maybe changing your plan, if you already have a plan through the marketplace, we have to jump through another extra hoop with a 3-way call with you to the marketplace to go over the fact that, hey, yes, we know this agent from Matt Libby Insurance was not our original agent, but we want them to help us with this plan, versus people were switching plans and people were getting switched and not knowing it. We've had to deal with a few clients that some of them were people who were new to us and hey, this is not the plan I signed up for. What do I do? We were able to get them straightened out. But we've also had clients that were our clients that someone switched to a plan that wasn't going to work for them. So hopefully this is going to cut down on that, but it does make things a little more difficult for us to get everything done. It adds another, layer, another roadblock to getting it done. But hopefully it won't be too bad. And I don't think it's going to affect open enrollment, because that's the time that people should be changing plans. I think we'll be able to change someone's plan without having to call in and prove that, we're legitimate about helping them and we're not just switching their plan. But throughout the year, the switching of the plans has really, really affected a lot of folks. So hopefully this will fix some of that. The government sometimes it's, what's the old saying? You took a cannon to kill a fly, or a shotgun to kill. It's a little bit of overkill, as they say. So sometimes they go a little overboard on trying to do those fixes for problems. So anyway, I guess I'm running out of time here, and till next time. See you on the radio.
You've been listening to Insurance Matchmaking with Matt Libby, your path to health, life, and Medicare coverage with Matt Libby Insurance.